Hello everyone, welcome to today's video of Economy Hut. In this series of Economy Daily, we every day discuss some news which are important from some important newspapers which are related to economy and finance. So from today's newspaper, we have picked up three important news. So let us discuss one by one what are these things. These news are related to, right? So the first thing is related to IMF's forecast, right? Second thing is related to the S&P forecast, and the third thing is related to the wheat supplies, right? So let us see one by one what all these news are in detail. So in the first news, the IMF, which is International Monetary Fund organization. So this IMF has forecasted the GDP of India to be 8 to 8.3%, right? Now let us see some facts about this IMF. So this 8 to 8.3 forecast will be published in World Economic Outputs. This is the report which is published by IMF every year, twice in a year. First it is published in April, and then in October. But in the last year it was published in the January itself, right? So instead of October, they published in the last year report in the January, right? And now the next report is going to come within a few days, that is on 19th of April. So in that 19th April, they have forecasted this GDP of India to be 8 to 8.3, right? So in the previous in the previous report they have mentioned that this will be 9%, and now they are reducing the forecast to 8 to 8.3%. Now the major reason why they have slashed the forecast is because of the escalating demand, that is because of this Ukraine issue, and then again the Omicron surge is again there within the Indian market and on the global level as well, right? So that's why there will be this slash in the GDP forecast by the IMF, right? So the second news will be the second news is related is by the S&P companies. So this forecast is given by S&P, which is forecasting that India's current account deficit will be 5% if the crude prices in India are going to hit up to the 150% barrel. Uh, so if that thing is going to be there in the next couple of months, so that current account deficits will be quite high. So which means if that shortfall is going to be there for next some things, for at least next months. So let us discuss like what exactly is the current account deficit. So in the current account deficit is the shortfall between the 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 money which is received by the bank, the country, while they are doing some international trade, and the money which they have spent on buying the goods and services, right? So this current account deficit is the shortfall between these two things, right? And it is expected by this S&P that this shortfall will be about 5%. So being 5% is quite huge number for a country's complete GDP, right? So that's why it's going to be a huge forecast. And if that is going to happen in the real, then the country might suffer a capital flight condition. So in the capital flight, the money is withdrawn from the market instantly by some big HNIs or some big private institutions. So in that condition, if that capital flight condition is happening, then capital outflow occurs comes into that markets, and that if that thing is happening, then it hampers the regional economies, right? So the economies will devaluate, and the other recurring issues will happen in the economy. So that's why if this prediction is going to be like realistic to the economy, then it will hamper the economy on the longer run. Now in the last quarter, the this CAD was around 2.7% of the GDP, right? So which is expected to increase to the 5% in the next couple of months, right? Now if that thing is going to come in the reality in next couple of months, so the main way to have that thing into the main process in which this capital flight or the CAD can be decreased is by increasing the interest rates by the RBI. So yes, that is it about this news. Now we'll discuss the next news. So in the next news, the Egypt is going to approve the India as a nation for its supplier of the globally for its like the regional trades. So we'll discuss here what where Egypt is in the global map. So here it is Egypt, and we have taken that detail here in this map as well. So Egypt is having some Egypt is a country which is completely like most of the Middle East countries are like completely dependent on some food grains. So out of that, wheat is one of the important food grains. So that's why Egypt is one of the country who is like mostly dependent on these food grains on other countries. And as we have written here, like Egypt is the third largest importer of wheat, and they were importing that wheat and all things from the Russia and Ukraine. But now, as we can see, they are having some regional crisis issues. So that's why Egypt will no longer be importing the wheat from Russia and Ukraine for this year, right? So that's why India has taken that opportunity to capture that market, and India will be now exporting around 3 million tons of wheat to the Egypt this year, right? And just like that, India is aiming to export about 10 to 11 million in financial year 2023 due to this Ukraine issue, right? Then some other important facts, like in first 2 to 3 months only of the financial year 2022, Egypt has imported around one sorry India has exported the wheat of around 1.75 billion dollars. So it's a huge number, that too in that small months only. So if we are comparing that numbers with the last year numbers, that are like in last complete 1 year, India has exported around 500 million dollars only. So that is the double of the same number, sorry, three times the same number in the first quarter itself. And the biggest the biggest exporter of India's wheat is Bangladesh, which accounts to 54% of total exports as of now. And apart from that, India is also exporting the wheat to some other countries as well, like Yemen, Afghanistan, Qatar, and Indonesia. And just like this, India is also targeting some 30 plus odd other nations as well for exporting the wheat and other food grains. So yes, that is it for now. See you in next videos of the Economy Daily Initiative, which is taken by Economy Hut. So yes, thank you.